Football Prodigy's Revenge, Band Teen to World Cup Hero. Like, share and subscribe. Episode 31. After talking to Jorge Mendes about a good contract. The next day, Chu Feng took the lawyer to Jorge hotels where Mendes stayed temporarily. Jorge Mendes greeted Chu Feng at the door of the room. Saw Chu Feng approaching. Jorge Mendes hurried forward. Hold Chu Feng's hand. Chu Feng, it is really a wise choice to cooperate with me, and you will never regret it. After entering the room, Jorge Mendes' assistant put a brokerage contract in front of Chu Tian. Mendes said, "This is the contract we negotiated yesterday, and my sincerity." Chu Feng carefully looked at the brokerage contract. Professional sports players transfer contracts, with a commission remuneration of 3%. Player advertising and other commercial income, commission remuneration of 2%. The final decision on advertising endorsements is at the discretion of the players. After reading it, Chu Feng nodded. "Mr. Mendes, I think we should sign the contract. This is the best news I've ever heard." Jorge Mendes stood up and clenched Chu Feng's left hand. Then, the professional lawyer that Chu Feng had only found yesterday began to carefully observe the details of the contract. After reading it, the lawyer looked at Chu Feng and replied, "There is no problem with this economic contract." Chu Feng and Jorge Mendes completed the signing. After the two put down their signature pens, they shook hands and thanked each other. The assistant on the side took out the camera that had been prepared long ago and recorded the moment. Pass Jorge Mendes would announce it to the whole of Europe. Signed Chu Feng, a summer star. Jorge Mendes announced to the news media that he had signed Chu Feng. Clubs throughout Europe are starting to turn to Jorge Mendes knew Chu Feng's willingness to transfer. Both were Jorge Mendes declined on the grounds that there was no transfer for the time being. Originally, those sports brands that were struggling to contact Chu Feng's agents all have turned to Jorge Mendes expressed a willingness to cooperate. Adidas headquarters. A general manager who specializes in signing players just hung up with Jorge Mendes' phone. He looked dignified. Jorge Mendes did not give him an accurate answer. It only expressed the intention of cooperation between Nike, Puma, and other sports brands. Mendes is still really hard to figure out. He made a phone call. Moments later, 8 or 9 men in suits and leather shoes with a capable face walked in. He said with a serious face, "Now there is an important task entrusted to you. Now go to the Kingdom of John, Leicester, and take advantage of Jorge Mendes hadn't left there yet. Sign me Chu Tian." The men in suits and shoes smelled. "General manager, what is our low price? 10 million euros per year? 10 million euros? Chu Tian's player alone is worth more than 10 million euros. The general manager of Audi said out loud, thinking that he was dissatisfied with the poor vision of his subordinates. 23 million euros a year, sign a 10-year contract with him. The general manager speaks out about his reserve price. 23 million euros? Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo did not reach this price. Several subordinates were incredulous. Chu Feng is a Xiagua person, and there are more than 1 billion names behind the Xiagua. Don't you understand the value of it? The value he brings will be far greater than Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, as long as he can continue to go on." Several subordinates looked at each other and then suddenly realized. "General manager, will it be too arbitrary? Do we want to do market research and big data analysis? Determine Chu Feng's fan audience." "Not yet." The general manager scolded, "Are you brain sick? Still researching? Big data? By the time you finish, Chu Feng has already signed a contract with Nike. Don't say that you are booking the earliest flight now, to John's country, Leicester City." Such a scene also appeared in a series of sports brand headquarters such as Nike and Puma. Time. Many people boarded flights to John's kingdom to Leicester, a city of only 400,000 people. City of Leicester. 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Chu Feng looked at the caller ID on his phone. Jorge Mendes. "I just signed my contract in the morning, so why are you contacting me again?" Just answered the phone. Jorge Mendes' excited voice came out. "Chu Tian. I just announced that I signed you. Nike, Adidas, Puma, and other sports brands contacted me, and their phone prices reached 15 million. Now that they're all out to meet me in person, I don't expect the final price to be less than 20 million. But you don't have to care, you just play well, I will help you fight for the greatest interests, and finally you choose." The two exchanged a few words of greeting and hung up the phone. Episode 32. John's Kingdom. Dorset resort town of Bournemouth. Dean Court Stadium. Leicester City away to promotion to Bournemouth. Compared to the previous Leicester City's pre-match lack of optimism, this time the media all thought Leicester City, which has won 3 straight, will beat Bournemouth away. Have been given. Leicester City win 4 in a row? The sword refers to the seat of the European War. Chu Feng scored 4 consecutive goals, pointing to the Premier League Golden Boot. Promoted Bournemouth home to Leicester City. Pre-match. Leicester City manager Ranieri is also confident in the match. As an old rival in the Championship division, Leicester City in the 2013 to 2014 Championship season once killed Bournemouth twice. Now Leicester City has Chu Feng with the momentum of 3 consecutive wins. Even if it's away to Bournemouth, Ranieri felt that winning the game was not a problem. But the game didn't go as expected. The game begins. Leicester City discharged a new formation. 4-2-3-1. Vardy single arrow in front. Chu Feng, Kanté, Mars midfielders are arranged from right to left. And Bournemouth discharged a 4-4-1-1 formation. Enter can quickly counterattack. The back can be an iron barrel bus. The game progressed into the first half. 28th minute. Bournemouth centre forward Wilson. This field in Leicester City. After receiving a pass from teammate Tomlin. After consecutive swings past Cantor, Dresswater. A single kick directly outside the penalty area shattered the world wave. The score is 1-0. Wilson opened the scoring for Bournemouth. Bournemouth leads Leicester City at home. Bournemouth then began the iron barrel formation defense. Stick to 3 points. Leicester City, too, launched a frenzied attack. Bournemouth defended too densely. Throughout the first half, Leicester City didn't even have a chance to shoot right. Until the second half of the game. Chu Feng finally received the ball on the edge of the penalty area. Even if he keeps cutting inwards, looking for angles. But because the opposing defender is about to get close, Chu Feng, who had just stepped on the line of the penalty area, could only shoot with 1 kick. The ball flew towards the goal. Hit the door frame to pop up the bottom line. The Leicester City players shouted pity. Leicester City sent the ball into the Bournemouth penalty area. Vardy controlled the ball. Bournemouth defenders defended inappropriately, causing Vardy to fall to the ground. Referee Swarbrick blew a penalty. As the team's first penalty shootout, Vardy. In the last match against Tottenham, he gave way for Chu Feng's hat-trick. This time he stood on the penalty spot. Vardy ran for help, then pulled out his leg and shot furiously. The ball flew into the Bournemouth goal like a cannonball. The score was 1-1. Finally, in the 86 minutes of the game, Leicester City finally equalized. But because Leicester City has been too fierce for a long time, it also causes a serious decrease in physical strength. The offense began to weaken in the little time remaining. When Bournemouth faced Leicester City with a player like Chu Feng who could have a strong ability to break through, Bournemouth did not dare to launch a hasty attack. Finally, injury time ended. Leicester City shook hands with Bournemouth away. The Chu Feng score given by the post-match rating was 7.6 points. Third in line. Vardy, who scored a penalty, scored 7.8 points. Vardy has competed for the top 21 times in total, the highest in this game. And ranked first, with a rating of 8 points. New midfielder N'Golo Kanté, who has moved to Leicester City. Cantor this game. The number of steals and the number of successes, as well as the number of interceptions. All are the highest in the whole game. Post-match interviews. It was a tough game and Bournemouth's will is strong. Coach Ranieri said this about the game. When asked if you are satisfied with the results, I said my mission this season was relegation, and after only 4 league rounds, we've scored 10 points. Although the result of the game was not so satisfactory, the players worked quite the pitch and I will not be too harsh on my players. On the question of Chu Feng not scoring goals and assists in this game. Anyone who has watched Chu Feng's first 3 rounds of matches will know that he is a world-class player, but even Messi see Ronaldo can't score goals every game, can't he? After the game. The media of John's Kingdom. Leicester City's winning streak is broken, the promotion horse hits. Leicester remain unbeaten in the league for 4 rounds. Against the promotion horse, Chu Feng is invisible all over the field? For Leicester City to level Bournemouth everyone can accept. But facing Chu Feng against Bournemouth did not score. All the media pointed the finger at Chu Feng. Who let Chu Feng fire it? Episode 33. Bournemouth interrupted after a winning streak. Chu Feng was not disturbed by the media's words. Chu Feng knows that as a Xiagua, he will play in the Premier League again. You can only speak with strength, and words are too weak. 5th round of the Premier League. Leicester City will host Aston Villa. Aston Villa is a Premier League veteran team too. There has also been a glorious history. He has won the Champions League and 7 John's Country Top League titles. 7-time FA Cup winner. 5-time League Cup winner. It is an established team with a historical background. Although Aston Villa's performance has been unstable. But there are still a lot of people who are optimistic about Aston Villa playing Leicester City. King Power Stadium. Players from both sides stepped onto the pitch one after another. Before the game even started, the Leicester City goalkeepers were already shouting. In the 4th round of the league, Leicester City won 10 points. It gave Leicester City fans confidence. Already feel like winning at home to Aston Villa. It should also be a matter of course. But reality is often harsh. 39th minute of the game. Aston Villa played in the Leicester City penalty area. Aston Villa striker, Scott Sinclair, received the ball inside the penalty area. Scott's right-footed shot. Blocked by Leicester City defenders Morgan and Dra Mart. Football produces refraction. Fly in front of Aston Villa player Richards. Richards and Schlupp Rob. Before Richards fell to the ground. A kick passed the ball to Grealish, who was unguarded outside the penalty area. Grealish didn't make adjustments. Shoots into the net from a distance. Goal. The score was 1-0. Aston Villa leads away. Grealish for Aston Villa. The 20-year-old who will transfer £100 million to Manchester City. Rising as a rising star. Aston Villa players hugged each other in the corner to celebrate scoring goals. Blue Fox fans at King Power Stadium. And Leicester City players. It's hard to accept. There were 5 minutes left to finish the first half. Leicester City circle kick-off. The players in the front court. Constantly conducting each other. Hope to tear Aston Villa's defense out of the hole. Mahrez crossed from the flank and passed to Vardy in the middle. Vardy moved forward with the ball. Shinji Okazaki and Chu Feng ran forward. A long pass from Baldi found Chu Feng. After Chu Feng stopped the ball with his right foot. Continue forward along the football inertia recommended. Aston Villa's right-hand defenders were all attracted to Chu Feng. Chu Feng directly crossed with one foot. Penetrated Aston Villa's defensive line. Shinji Okazaki received the ball and faced the void. No direct shots on goal. Moving on to take a step forward. Ready to raise your foot to shoot. Westwood, a defender who was directly defended. Fly the main ball straight from the rear of the side towards the bottom line. Shinji Okazaki wasted a great chance to shoot because of hesitation. It also cost Leicester City a chance to equalize. Alas. The fans at the scene let out a sigh. Captain Morgan clapped his hands. Ask your teammates not to get discouraged. Prepare for the corner. Mahrez walked to the corner kick spot. Raise your right hand high for your teammates to compete for the top. Shoot with one kick. The football has not yet flown into the box. Referee Mike Dean blew the game off. Leicester City player Inler pulled a foul inside the penalty area. Blew off this opportunity for a corner kick attack. Aston Villa goal kick. By this time, the regular time of the first half is over. 1 minute of stoppage time. The goalkeeper drove the ball into midfield with big feet. After several midfield passes by Aston Villa players. The referee blew the whistle at the end of the first half. Chu Feng when they left the field to go to the locker room. The fans at the entrance continued to give applause. Give the players encouragement. I believe that the score can be moved back. Inside the locker room. Ranieri criticized the midfielders. Why did Aston Villa always easily infiltrate into the back line? There are also defenders who are not calm when defending. Let Aston Villa let the penalty area shine into chaos. Grealish didn't have any players staring at him when he shot. After the lecture. Players must pay attention to defense. Can't keep conceding goals. Second. Player admission. The fans at King Power Stadium all stood up. Singing to the right song. When you're Esmelin. Give encouragement to the Leicester City players. Express your confidence in them. The Leicester City players were scrappy again. At the King Power Stadium, they have to defend their home stadium. It seems that things are about to start moving in a good direction. But an even bigger crisis in the second half is coming. Episode 34. Villa's attack, the despair of the home fans. King Power Stadium. The second half began. Ranieri replaced Shinji Okazaki with Nathan Dale. The old coach was still dissatisfied with the opportunity squandered by Shinji Okazaki. Leicester City are behind by 1 goal though. But morale is still plentiful. The frontcourt has been pressing. Until the game came to 65 minutes. Aston Villa's advance on the flanks. Grealiss's long pass directly found Abang Lejo, who had advanced to the right of the Leicester City penalty area. Leicester City midfielders pressed forward. Defender Hutter also stepped forward to prepare for the defense. Captain Morgan in the penalty area is blocking Aston Villa striker Scott Sinclair, who has already made it into the box. Intercept Coster Sinclair's catch route. It's just that's another striker hill at Aston Villa. Plug in from the middle. Abinlaho controls the ball directly in disguise. Shake out of position. Passed directly with his right foot to Hill, who was plugged in. Hill faces the football rolling towards him. No adjustments are made. Direct arc fixed shot. The ball flew over the heads of the defenders in the penalty area. The ball flew into the goal. Goal. Once again, Aston Villa breached the gates of Leicester City. The score came to 0-2. Aston Villa leads on the road. Right now. All the home fans have their heads in their hands. Or cover your eyes with your hands. Can't believe it, don't want to believe it. Perfect start to the season. Against West Ham away, they can win. Premier League giants Tottenham Hotspur have also not taken a single point from their home stadium. Say good steel defense, Italian defense. After 2 clean athletic goals at Aston Villa. It's like a tofu dregs project, which shatters when you touch it. The entire complete stadium fell silent. In addition to the sounds of Aston Villa players celebrating. It seems that the voices of so many people have overshadowed the 30,000 spectators at the King Power Stadium. Once again, Aston Villa has easily broken through the gates of Leicester City. Aston Villa led Leicester City 2-0 away. For Leicester, the fairy tale seems to be shattered. Today is a horror story for home fans. The voices on the pitch's commentary became muffled. Chu Feng's European black fans began to be active again. Chu Feng finally appeared in his original form, a ping Bournemouth full of stealth, and now he was beaten by Aston Villa's head-hugging rat. Chu Feng opened high and walked low, and the fourth round began to be in a worse and worse state. False genius. Therefore, the real genius has experienced the test of time, and I said why Chu Feng didn't go to the Giants. It turned out that the Giants didn't want him. The major giants have long seen Chu Feng's level, just to see when Chu Feng will show the stuffing, and now Chu Feng will perform mediocrely in 2 games. Even with Leicester City, it is a relegation team. No wonder Ranieri has not changed his mind, this season's task is relegation. Whether the black fans saw Chu Feng being targeted on the field or not, they helped their teammates pull the space. Anyway, only look at the results, only look at the score. Therefore, these black powders are counted as people who are detached from low-level interests, and they are pure people. King Power Stadium. The mood of the fans throughout the stadium became depressed. The flag in his hand shook feebly. Just when Leicester City fans were desperate. It's time for a hero to step up. Chu Feng used his speed to force a breakthrough into the vicinity of the Aston Villa bottom line. Aston Villa's 2 defenders, Bakuna Richards, blocked. The ball at Chu Feng's feet was directly shoveled out of the bottom line. Leicester City get corner kicks. Face the pain of the home fans. It's time for heroes to come forward. Mahrez drew the instep of his left foot towards the bottom left of the ball. The ball jumps high and falls at a high speed. Inside the Aston Villa exclusion zone. An obscure Leicester City player De La Et. He was inconspicuous, and no one was watching. De La Et twisted his body. Raise your left foot towards the soccer ball. The ball knocked down his heels. The ball jumped over the goalkeeper's head. But defender Amavi jumped high on the goal line. Unblocked the ball from the goal line. Just when Leicester City fans were sorry for the ball. The referee whistled. He pointed to the door cord sensor on his hand. Football as a whole has crossed the goal line. The Leicester City players ran towards Della ETT. Embrace the heroes of the goal. Leicester City had just been released by Aston Villa defender Amawi when he swallowed back the cries of the throat. Once again it was re-released. The flag, which had been shaking weakly, began to surge again. Leicester City made a corner kick through Chu Feng. De La et strong point score. Home side Leicester City struggled to pull back a point. The score was 1-2. Episode 35. Villa's attack, the despair of the home fans. King Power Stadium. The second half began. Ranieri replaced Shinji Okazaki with Nathan Dale. The old coach was still dissatisfied with the opportunity squandered by Shinji Okazaki. Leicester City are behind by 1 goal though. But morale is still plentiful. The frontcourt has been pressing. Until the game came to 65 minutes. Aston Villa's advance on the flanks. Grealis's long pass directly found Abang Lejo, who had advanced to the right of the Leicester City penalty area. Leicester City midfielders pressed forward. Defender Hutter also stepped forward to prepare for the defense. Captain Morgan in the penalty area is blocking Aston Villa striker Scott Sinclair, who has already made it into the box. Intercept Coster Sinclair's catch route. It's just that's another striker hill at Aston Villa. Plug in from the middle. Abunlaho controls the ball directly in disguise. Shake out of position. Passed directly with his right foot to Hill, who was plugged in. Hill faces the football rolling towards him. No adjustments are made. Direct arc fixed shot. The ball flew over the heads of the defenders in the penalty area. The ball flew into the goal. Goal. Once again, Aston Villa breached the gates of Leicester City. The score came to 0-2. Aston Villa leads on the road. Right now. All the home fans have their heads in their hands. Or cover your eyes with your hands. Can't believe it, don't want to believe it. Perfect start to the season. Against West Ham away, they can win. Premier League giants Tottenham Hotspur have also not taken a single point from their home stadium. Say good steel defense, Italian defense. After 2 clean athletic goals at Aston Villa. It's like a tofu dregs project, which shatters when you touch it. The entire complete stadium fell silent. In addition to the sounds of Aston Villa players celebrating. It seems that the voices of so many people have overshadowed the 30,000 spectators at the King Power Stadium. Once again, Aston Villa has easily broken through the gates of Leicester City. Aston Villa led Leicester City 2-0 away. For Leicester, the fairy tale seems to be shattered. Today is a horror story for home fans. The voices on the pitch's commentary became muffled. Chu Feng's European black fans began to be active again. Chu Feng finally appeared in his original form, a ping Bournemouth full of stealth, and now he was beaten by Aston Villa's head-hugging rat. Chu Feng opened high and walked low, and the 4th round began to be in a worse and worse state. False genius. Therefore, the real genius has experienced the test of time, and I said why Chu Feng didn't go to the Giants. It turned out that the Giants didn't want him. The major giants have long seen Chu Feng's level, just to see when Chu Feng will show the stuffing, and now Chu Feng will perform mediocrely in 2 games. Even with Leicester City, it is a relegation team. No wonder Ranieri has not changed his mind, this season's task is relegation. Whether the black fans saw Chu Feng being targeted on the field or not, they helped their teammates pull the space. Anyway, only look at the results, only look at the score. Therefore, these black powders are counted as people who are detached from low-level interests, and they are pure people. King Power Stadium. The mood of the fans throughout the stadium became depressed. The flag in his hand shook feebly. Just when Leicester City fans were desperate. It's time for a hero to step up. Chu Feng used his speed to force a breakthrough into the vicinity of the Aston Villa bottom line. Aston Villa's 2 defenders, Bakuna Richards, blocked. The ball at Chu Feng's feet was directly shoveled out of the bottom line. Leicester City get corner kicks. Face the pain of the home fans. It's time for heroes to come forward. Mahrez drew the instep of his left foot towards the bottom left of the ball. The ball jumps high and falls at a high speed. Inside the Aston Villa exclusion zone. An obscure Leicester City player, De La et. He was inconspicuous, and no one was watching. De La et twisted his body. Raise your left foot towards the soccer ball. The ball knocked down his heels. The ball jumped over the goalkeeper's head. But defender Amabai jumped high on the goal line. Unblocked the ball from the goal line. Just when Leicester City fans were sorry for the ball. The referee whistled. He pointed to the door cord sensor on his hand. Football as a whole has crossed the goal line. The Leicester City players ran towards Della ETT. Embrace the heroes of the goal. Leicester City had just been released by Aston Villa defender Amawi when he swallowed back the cries of the throat. Once again it was re-released. The flag, which had been shaking weakly, began to surge again. Leicester City made a corner kick through Chu Feng. De La at strong point score. Home side Leicester City struggled to pull back a point. The score was 1-2. Episode 36. When the home fans pull 2 goals in a row. When contented to accept a draw. Spectators on the sidelines thought the Leicester City players had been satisfied with the draw. But Leicester City's players still haven't farted their thirst for victory. Match 89th minute. Mahrez received a pass from Delet in midfield. Direct provocation. The ball crossed the heads of 2 Aston Villa midfielders. Drove straight to Dale on the outskirts of the penalty area. Dale was getting ready to control the football. Aston Villa defender, Lescott. While scrambling for Dale's body, his elbow hit Dale in the face. Dale then covered his face and fell to the ground. Roll up on the lawn. Lescott looked innocently at the referee. Show your innocence. The referee awarded a free kick straight away from outside the Aston Villa penalty area. No yellow card was shown to Lescott. Behind the Aston Villa players behind the wall of good men. Defender Lescott lay down behind the human wall. They watched Chu Feng score a free kick against West Ham United. It is a kick to roll the earth. Chu Feng stood behind the ball and measured the distance from the football with his steps. Look at the goal, aim. Suck. Phew. Control your breathing rate. Beep. The referee let out a crisp whistle. Chu Feng helped run. Leg force. The tip of the right foot hits the center of the football with force. At the same time as the tip of the toe touches the center of the ball. Quickly lift upwards. The ball flew straight over the human wall. Then the ball suddenly drifted from side to side. Then the plunge was extremely fast. Aston Villa goalkeeper Guzan has yet to judge the direction. The ball has already flown into the net. The goalkeeper stood motionless. Goal. Chu Feng rushed to the sidelines, towards the fans. Open your hands. Greeted with applause from the fans. The goalkeepers responded to Chu Feng. The mountains roared with tsunami cheers. The Leicester City fans were like roller coasters throughout the game. Confidence from the start of the game. To the low after being broken by 2 consecutive sports battles. Then Leicester City players scored 1 goal after another with the fans' emotions going crazy upwards. And Chu Feng's goal, in this case of a killer. Thoroughly, the emotions of the fans were brought to the highest point. The mountain roared like a tsunami. Crazy jump-like celebrations. It made the whole stadium shake. The flag of Leicester City also fluttered. The blue ocean surged again at the King Power Stadium. Domestic Premier League broadcast room. Chu Feng was controlling the rhythm of his breathing and adjusting his shots. The ball jumped high and fell into the net at great speed. Goalkeeper Guzan didn't react at all. The ball is in. Chu Feng. Fly like a dragon. An iconic deciduous ball. Leicester City's desire to win has finally paid off. Can't believe it, Leicester City scored 3 goals in the last 17 minutes of the game. Chu Feng killed Aston Villa with a beautiful free kick. It's Chu Feng again, the Blue Fox fairy tale, the Blue Fox Prince. Leicester City home to the final stage of stoppage time, 3-2, kill Villers. Mahrez's precise pick and kick found Dale, causing an Aston Villa defensive foul and creating a free kick opportunity on the edge of the penalty area. And Chu Feng didn't waste the opportunity created by his teammates to shoot directly and score. It's the result of the combined efforts of the entire Leicester City players. Jean Jun was excitedly explaining the game. King Power Stadium. The game is over. In the end, Leicester City defended the home stadium, beating Aston Villa 3-2. Post-match interviews. In the face of reporters asked, "Do you have anything to say about this reversal?" Ranieri replied with a smile, "This is another great reversal, the result of the hard work of the players. In the final stages my players are perfect, they deserve this victory." The reporter asked whether the goal this season is still relegation after facing 4 wins and 1 draw in 5 rounds of matches. Ranieri smiled and touched his nose. "I think it's a pity that we really tried to consider European war." The reporters recorded the big news and left satisfied. Inside the locker room after the game, Chu Feng continued to check the rewards. Win the Premier League game. Rating, 10 points. Contest prize, €400,000. It's another perfect game of data. Chu Feng strengthened all the ability points before the game. Ability points come to: shot 92, 90 plus 2, termination ability 90, 87 plus 3, shot strength 90, 87 plus 3. Pass 92, 91 plus 1, long pass 90, 79 plus 11, arbitrary 90, 76 plus 14. Episode 37. The next day. The fifth round of the Premier League is over. With Leicester City 3-2 at home, the reverse against Aston Villa. Chu Feng and his team were again featured in the European media. Headlines were given to yesterday's Double Red Society. Manchester United beat Liverpool 3-1 at home. And Chu Feng's match against Aston Villa has also given a large space. The Blue Fox continues the fairy tale, the home game reverses Aston Villa. The last 17 minutes, Leicester City people fight back. Leicester City, a fairy tale without fear. Never give up. Chu Feng's deciduous ball killed Aston Villa. Originally after Aston Villa's 2-0 lead. Looking at the time left, many media outlets have already sent out press releases about Leicester City's home defeat to Aston Villa. The whole article is a criticism of Leicester City and a denigration of Chu Feng. After Chu Feng reversed Aston Villa, all the media were stupid and all rushed to the draft. The newswords were full of resentment towards Chu Feng. European fans after seeing the news. For a time, the whole of Europe was talking about Chu Feng. I thought I would shake hands after the equalizer, but I didn't expect Leicester City to give up. That deciduous ball looks silly, even though it feels like it's going to go in at first. The goalkeeper was like a stupid guy, motionless, and smiled at me. A snatch point to break the equalizer, a free kick directly to the goal, counterscore, Chu Feng forehead drop God. I announced that Chu Feng's performance is superstar level. Chu Feng seemed to have completely subdued the black fans. But a question keeps going on among the fans. Can Leicester City really make it into the European zone this season? Chu Feng's strength was beyond doubt. But Leicester City, after all, is only a relegation team. Except for Chu Feng. The team's top scorer, Vardy, is 28 years old and worth 600 euros. Mahrez, the core of the team, is only worth 7 million. The whole team is worth only 60 million euros. Combined, there are not yet some of the big clubs' core players with high value. From the start, they were considered unworthy to play in the top flight. Can such a teammate assist Chu Feng in accomplishing his goal? The only answer Leicester City can give them is the banner in the hands of Leicester City fans. Fearless fairy tales. And after seeing Chu Feng's performance, the European giants are back on the move. Jorge Mendes' phone exploded again. Right. Chu Feng has no plans to transfer for the time being. If Chu Feng has the idea of transferring, I will inform you. Jorge Mendes hung up another phone call from a La Liga club. He also didn't know why Chu Feng insisted on staying in Leicester City. In Jorge Mendes' experience seems that even if Chu Feng finally led the team into the European theater, there would be no gain. There would not be too much increase in Chu Feng's value. If only to play European games. Chu Feng shows his strength to join a team that can have a place in the Champions League. Now the transfer to Chu Feng's return is the highest. Leicester City not only could not increase the commercial value of Chu Feng, but also seriously affected Chu Feng's influence. But Chu Feng had the right to make his own choices. Mendes can only respect. Summer Kingdom. The message was sent back home. Domestic online media. It was brushed by Chu Feng again. Chu Feng reversed Aston Villa with 2 goals. Chu Feng free kick master. The deciduous ball looks at the silly goalkeeper. Chu Feng stopped Aston Villa in stoppage time, carrying the team forward alone. Domestic fans had thought Leicester City would end in a draw. Lying in the grass, shocked, Chu Feng will also fall leaf balls. I thought that the equalization was the end, but I didn't expect Chu Feng's desire for victory. Leicester City. Chu Feng is awesome. There are also some Chu Feng fans who feel that Leicester City does not deserve him. I said that Chu Feng was delayed in Leicester City, and at the current level to go to a team that can play European games, he should play the main force casually. I said Chu Feng should go to Real Madrid Barca and compete with Messi Ronaldo for the Ballon d'Or. Don't think about the Golden Globes, Chu Feng has no national team results, how did the Golden Globes compete for Messi C. Luo? Then the fans started rushing to the FA again. Summer National Football Association headquarters building. The procedural ape smashed the first few cups that were dropped because of Chu Feng. These people are crazy. As soon as Chu Feng's news came out, he would attack the Football Association. The procedural ape has decided that Chu Feng cannot join the national team no matter what. No matter who is the head coach of the national football team, as long as he dares to sign Chu Feng, he dares to change the head coach. Even if the results are played, it is not the credit of the Football Association. Episode 38. Leicester City training base. With the end of the Premier League 5 rounds, Chu Feng was positioned at Leicester City from a midfielder. Slowly shift towards winger or stealth. Now Leicester City's offensive tactics revolve around Chu Feng. Although this would make Chu Feng easily targeted, thus blocking the offensive route. But Chu Feng still has the attribute of midfielder, while attracting opponent defenses. Threat ball passing is also possible. This also allows Leicester City to take Chu Feng as the core at the same time. There are enough changes again. John's Kingdom, September 19th. 6th round of the Premier League. Stoke City played Leicester City at home. Leicester City after home win over Aston Villa. 4 wins and 1 draw in 5 league rounds. Celeste City came up with 13 points. Ranked second. At the top of the league table is Manchester City, who have completed a 5-game winning streak. As long as Leicester City win this game, Manchester City will not win. Leicester City's ranking could come to the top of the Premier League table. In this case, Ranieri said he would try to win the game, although it will only be temporarily at the top of the list. But the Leicester City player said, "The highest point of the Premier League we have ever been." The game begins. The pace of the game was different from what the Leicester City players thought. Leicester City is still tentative when familiarizing yourself with the pitch. Stoke City, from the start of the game, it launched a crazy full-court rush, forcing Leicester City players to commit frequent fouls. The game went into fragmentation. Keep Leicester City players in a state of flux. The game started in just 13 minutes. Stoke City was conducted back and forth through the Leicester City half. Leicester City's defensive line was torn apart. Arnautovic, after possession of the ball, picking the ball, hoisted the ball into the penalty area. Boying's header from inside the penalty area hit the goal. The goalkeeper couldn't save. The goal went into the net. The score was 1-0. Stoke City leads at home. Leicester City have yet to come out of the mood of being behind. Just 7 minutes away from the first goal. Because Stoke City continued to press the whole field. The formation of Leicester City was compressed at the home half. Let Leicester City cause multiple fouls, allowing Stoke City to create a number of free kick opportunities at the Leicester City half. This time, Stoke City took advantage of a free kick set opportunity near the baseline. Again hoisted the ball into the Leicester City penalty area. Leicester City missed Stoke City player Wolster. Slammed the ball into the goal from the back post. The first half was not yet halfway through. Leicester City are already 2-0 behind. Leicester City's defenses were like paper paste against Stoke City. Leicester City finally found their form back in the back of the game. A frenzied counterattack was launched against Stoke. 50th minute. After several bombardments of Stoke's gates, Chu Feng finally opened the 10-finger gate of goalkeeper Bartland. Chu Feng pulled back a City. After recovering 1 point, Leicester City continued to attack. Stoke City's physical strength has begun to decline. Match 69th minute. Assist by Mahrez. Vardy snatched the penalty spot inside the penalty area. The score came to 2-2. Leicester City finally equalized. Leicester City have experienced a long period of attack. Physical strength also declined severely. Finally the game ends. The score was 2-2. Stoke City home and Leicester City shake hands in peace. The Leicester City players have yet to come back from the game against Stoke City. Get enough time to adjust. It was only after 2 days of adjustment. John's Kingdom, September 22nd. Leicester City are once again competing in the 3rd round of the English League Cup. Leicester City play Championship side Millwall. Conduct 2-front combat. Fortunately, Millwall was not very warlike. Millwall wasn't aggressive on the field. Leicester City had 71% possession. Match 49th minute. After Chu Feng received the ball in midfield. Long distance raids. Speed suppression. Marseille whirling. Change the rhythm of the ball. Past 4 Millwall players. Chu Feng shot from a distance. The ball was scored. A dragon breaks the door. Chu Feng once again completed a dragon break. After the score lead, Leicester City's players began to slow down. I don't want to expand the score. Consumes more stamina. Or be annoyed by the Millwall players and fouled up in anger. Get hurt. Until 89 minutes. Chu Feng was on the outskirts of the forbidden area. Received a pass from Mahrez. The football bounces off the ground. Chu Feng did not make adjustments. Pull the leg directly. Volleys. The football flew into the dead corner. The goalkeeper struggled to pounce on the ball. The ball speed is too fast. The goalkeeper hasn't touched the football yet. The ball is in the net. Leicester City, 2-0. He simply won the first League Cup match. Although won the English League Cup match, Ranieri still said that the Premier League Cup did not need to be overly concerned. Leicester City's main target is the Premier League. Weak bench thickness. Bring Leicester City to the level of two-front combat. Episode 39. Leicester City beat Millwall 2-0. There was not much coverage in the John State media. Leicester City beat Millwall to get close to the League Cup knockout rounds. Chu Feng League Cup double ringing. Fans also paid little attention to the match. No one would have thought that Leicester City would have the ability to fight on two fronts. If there is an injury because of the League Cup, probably the perfect start in the Premier League. It will also collapse with injuries. The knockout rounds of the Premier League Cup. Leicester City should only focus on participation. The media paid more attention to it than Leicester City's victory over Millwall. Leicester City host Arsenal. The race hasn't started yet. The media is about to face Leicester City, the dark horse of the season, against Arsenal led by Arsene Wenger, one of the Premier League giants. Arsenal Club has been established for over 100 years. Known by Summerland fans as the Gunners or Arsenal. In the club's long history, it has won a total of 13 English top league titles, 14 FA Cup winners, 2 English League Cup titles. Strength should not be underestimated. And their coach is the godfather of football, Wenger. Although in the first 6 rounds of the game Arsenal only achieved a record of 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. But all the media are still more bullish on Arsenal. Leicester City in particular is a wheel war. Leicester City has basically no rotation. Leicester City play hard at home to Arsenal, it is difficult to win. Leicester City wheel war, defeat is decided? After the Leicester City League Cup, can the main players play? Leicester City give up home win, Arsenal laugh at 3 points? European fans are also talking about the upcoming game. Leicester City should give up the race to win and rotate all the main players. Leicester City's main players are too tired for half a month and 4 games, and if they retire from the battle, even if they win Arsenal, the schedule may collapse directly. Even if Leicester City's main players are all on the pitch, they can't beat us Arsenal. Leicester City is just a Chu Feng, defend him, we Arsenal are invincible. Fans of Arsenal, whether they are or not, think Arsenal will win. John's Kingdom. September 26th. King Power Stadium. Leicester City host Arsenal. Inside the locker room. Ranieri kept fiddling with the pieces on the tactical board. The mouth constantly says some tactics of the enemy and us. Well, I've said everything I have to say, and this time we'll just try to hold on. The most important thing is not to get hurt. Ranieri stared at Chu Feng firmly after speaking. Ranieri was afraid that Chu Feng would be injured by fighting too hard. If Chu Feng was injured, Ranieri would rather lose this game. Inside the player channel. Leicester City's players entered one after another, and the players' tunnel waited to enter. Arsenal players stood to the sidelines. One of the players looked at Chu Feng. Don't try to win today. Chu Feng looked at him and recognized it as an obscure player. I said something to him. Silly. Then he stopped looking at obscurity. Captain Morgan still kept high-fiving with his teammates. Then, at the suggestion of the staff, we walked up to the King Power Stadium. Domestic Premier League broadcast room. Hello friends from the audience, welcome to the 6th round of the Premier League this season brought by UEFA Sports. I am Jean June, the commentator of this game. The 2 sides of the match are Leicester City at home against Gunners Arsenal. We can see the stadium is full, Leicester City's home fans. Players from both sides have moved into the turf of the King Power Stadium, and after 2 rounds of Premier League matches, Leicester City have accumulated 14 points with 4 wins and 2 draws, ranking 2nd, while Arsenal have 3 wins, 2 losses and 1 draw and are in 7th place in the league. Arsenal have a poor record, but their strength cannot be underestimated, and they are waiting for work. Leicester City will be a bitter battle. Neither side has changed their formation compared to the previous round of the squad. Leicester City continues to use 4-4-2, and Arsenal still maintain a 4-2-3-1 formation with Walcott as a single arrow. The broadcast footage was again given to the most anticipated Chu Feng. This time he still started, wearing the number 11 jersey, talking and laughing with Vardy next to him, looking very relaxed. Let's look forward to Chu Feng's performance today. The barrage in the live broadcast room also began to cheer for Chu Feng. We at Arsenal are. It's conquerable. The premise of my Arsenal fan is that I am a Chu Feng fan. Chu Feng cheers. Episode 40. King Power Stadium. Amid the shouts of the home fans. After the captains of both sides tossed the ball by tossing a coin, the direction of the goal was determined. The game begins. Leicester City attacked. Vardy knocked the ball back to midfielder Drinkwater. Then the front wingers began to infiltrate forward. Darren Kovac shared the ball at the feet of Chu Feng on the flank. The opposing position is too dense. Chu Feng passed it on to Vardy. Vardy passed it on to Shinji Okazaki. Arsenal defender, Cazorla. Directly close to steal the ball at the feet of Shinji Okazaki. Cazorla's long pass with one foot. The football was divided into Sanchez on the left. Mahrez directly destroyed the ball at Sanchez's feet out of the sideline. After a moment of liturgy and my back and forth temptation, players from both sides gradually got into form. 13th minute of the match. Chu Feng dribbled the ball on the side. Rely on speed to directly throw Arsenal midfielder Ramsey behind. Facing Arsenal back Flamini in a block against Bellerin. The two Arsenal defenders are quite experienced. He didn't want to steal Chu Feng. Just lower the center of gravity. Block the offensive route and the shooting route. Chu Feng controlled the ball. Yu Guang saw a blue figure. Directly up the foot. Fake shooting, true legend. It attracted the attention of Arsenal's defenders. Want to block the shooting route. The goalkeeper is also judging the direction of the football. But the ball didn't fly to the goal. Instead, it flies sideways to the exclusion zone. The Vardy fish jumped to the top. The goalkeeper did not respond. You can only watch the football get into the net. Vardy sped toward the corner. After passing Chu Feng. Facing Chu Feng, he walked with his back to him, and one hand kept pointing at Chu Feng. A bad smile. It shows how thief Chu Feng's foot is to play the assist of the other side's back line. The fans cheered. It's King Power Stadium again. It's again facing the Premier League. Leicester City once again took the lead. Summer Premier League broadcast room. Chu Feng broke through to the outside of the penalty area with the ball, facing two defenders, which had entered Chu Feng's range. What will he choose to do with it? Chu Feng got up on his feet. The ball shifted laterally towards the middle of the penalty area. It was a pass, and with that, Vardy jumped to the top and pushed the ball into the goal. Vardy is at home for Leicester City. The score is 1-0. Leicester City take the lead at home. A wonderful combination of Chu Feng and Vardy's two frontcourt players in the Arsenal penalty area. Vardy ran ahead of time, and Chu Feng faked a real pass. Opener for Leicester City. Jean Jun excitedly explained the goal. The barrage in the live broadcast room filled the screen again. Chu Feng is awesome. Chu Feng teased the other side's defense. Chu Feng, come on. Score a few goals. Leicester City made the opening 13 minutes into the opening. Leicester City fans and players alike were in a state of joy. Match 17th minute. It was 4 minutes before Leicester City took the lead. Arsenal back Cazorla. A long pass from midfielder. Directly penetrated Leicester City's entire midfield. Centre Walcott is just outside the box. After the chest stops the ball. Directly follow the inertia of the football. Pull out your feet and shoot angrily. Defenders Morgan and Schlupp did not have time to block. Football quickly flew into the net. The goalkeeper couldn't save and fell to the ground. Leicester City fans have yet to come out of the joy of taking the lead. It's like drinking on the head. Again in the pain of losing the ball. Walcott and Arsenal players run together to the away fans to celebrate. Thanks to the fans who went out with the team with the goal. Leicester City fans thought the goal was just a mistake. 33rd minute of the match. Arsenal striker Alexis Sanchez. On the right side of Leicester City, after receiving a pass from back Cazorla. Continuous passing get rid of. Past Delet and Hutter in Leicester's overtaking back line. The two men couldn't turn around. Directly by Sanchez, from the right side of the road. Directly into the restricted area. Sanchez faces the goalkeeper. Find a good angle and push the shot to get started. Goalkeeper Casper blocked with his foot. Football into the net. Goal. Sanchez made a contribution to the King's Power Stadium. The score came to 1-2. Leicester City trail Arsenal 1-2 at home. Sanchez ran frantically out of the bottom line. Hug your teammates who followed. Once again, Leicester City fans fell silent. From leading 1-0 to trailing 1-2, just 20 minutes passed. Just 20 minutes took Leicester City fans from heaven to hell. The good start was made, but Arsenal quickly overtook the score.